Hello, welcome to More Yoga with me, Emily. Today I thought we would get a little bit into the upper back, neck and shoulders. Um, I've got a kink somewhere going on up there, so that's my inspiration for you for today. You will need a ball though for this class, so I hope that you can find like a tennis ball or one of these massage balls or a lacrosse ball. If you have one of those spiky balls, that would be really good for this. If you don't have a ball, you could get a bunch of socks and ball them quite tightly. You won't get the same pressure with the release, but it'll still be something. Sound good? Okay, so we're going to start right away with the ball stuff because you get to lie down as you do it. And the idea with this is that you're going to get it into those spots on the back along the shoulder blade. We're going to do both sides. So I'll just show you from behind. When you lie down, you want to set the ball up kind of about here, right? So not exactly at the base of the shoulder blade, not quite up at the top, sort of just at the middle of the shoulder blade area. And then if you know that you have a tightness somewhere else along there, then you can go there instead. And then it's quite a bit easier to set up once you're on the floor. And then go gently with yourself because these balls are quite a bit firmer than a tennis ball. So you might even put a towel or something over top. And we're just going to let the body weight settle here on the ball for a couple of moments. If you feel like your body is tensing up or recoiling from the pressure, then that would be a really good indication that you need something else here. Maybe a towel or some extra padding on top. Because if your body is fighting against the release, you're not going to be able to get the release. So I have it underneath my right shoulder blade. Whatever side the ball is on, I want you to raise the arm up. And then just do a couple movements like this. So it's protraction and retraction of the shoulder blade. Or just imagine that you're reaching up and then letting the arm bone drop back down. And then start to draw these little circles on the ceiling, making sure that you can feel that you're getting movement around the shoulder blade area. So it's not just wrist, right? You're using the whole arm. And then go both directions. And then slowly, depending on your blood pressure, maybe it feels okay to do this, reach the arm all the way up overhead, and then slowly lower it down by your side. So now we're really getting into a little bit of massage here. So even though the ball isn't on the point where I feel like I have a kink, as I move it up, I can feel it radiating, hitting that point. So, one thing that we talked about in that wrist sequence is that it's the victim that cries out, not the perpetrator. So even though that sore spot isn't where I have the ball, I am getting it by having the ball a little bit lower. And then pause back at the top, and we're just going to open and close the arm. So essentially getting all of the different movements, all the range of motion here. Last couple breaths. Sorry for that garbage truck that went by. Hopefully it wasn't too loud. And then let's release, take the ball or whatever you're using out from underneath you, come back onto your back and just notice whatever you might notice from one side to the other. Maybe you don't feel like there's any difference, but Maybe there's quite a big difference from one side to the other. And then when you're ready, we'll switch to the opposite side. So again, getting that ball sort of halfway down the shoulder blade, not on the shoulder blade though, right next to it. And then taking a few breaths to just let the body weight settle. Trying not to resist or not fight against the pressure. If you are, then please, please, please add some extra cushioning on top of the ball or use something softer. And then gently raise your arm up to the sky. And then we'll just do that protraction, retraction, or reach the arm bone up and glide it back down. I did some gardening this morning and I realized I still have dirt on my arm, so sorry about that. Okay, and then pause at the top and start to draw those circles. It can be fast, it can be slow. And in fact, slow is probably better because then you can ease into the movement, ease into those tight spots. And then slowly reach the arm up overhead. Again, if the blood pressure feels hard or feels hard on your shoulder, then don't go all the way overhead. Just go within your own range of movement and then back down by the side. And then you might notice things like, for me, even though I started on the one side where I feel like I have that kink, this side feels way tighter through all of this. Quite a bit more sensational. A slow and deliberate movement. And then pause back at the top. Last little bit of movement, open and close. So open up to the side and then reach across. Last one. And then gently remove the ball out from underneath you. Come back onto your back. Couple of breaths to simply pause and notice. And then gently draw your knees toward your chest. Take a little rock from side to side. And then if you need to shake out the legs or draw circles through the hips or anything with the wrists or arms, just do whatever you need to do. I really like shaking like I'm a turtle trying to flip itself off its back. Okay, and then come back to center. You're going to cross your right thigh over top of the left. And the legs can splay out to the side. You don't have to hook the feet, but just having that thigh crossed over top. And then you want to reach your arms up, and you're going to cross the right arm underneath the left. So here you can grab the back of your shoulders if you'd like to, or maybe you start to go into an eagle variation, but let the hands release to the forehead. So it's a really sort of passive variation of eagle, so either here or here. And then think of lifting the knees a little bit toward the elbows so that you're compressing the space where the lower back is, rather pressing the lower back into the floor. So there's no space there. Couple breaths here. Maybe you curl elbows and knees toward each other. Last breath. And then unwind, shake it out a little bit. And then we'll switch to the opposite side. Left thigh crosses over top of the right. And then, your arms reaching up or out to the side, however works best for you. You want to cross the left arm underneath the right. And again, maybe grab the back of the shoulders, or you can take the full eagle bind. If so, let the hands rest on the forehead. And then lift the knees toward you a little bit so that there's no space underneath the lower back. You might stay here, or maybe just draw the elbows and knees toward each other. And inhale to release. And exhale. One more. And then unwind, shake it out a little bit. Some of you might rock and roll up and down your spine here to eventually come to tabletop. Some of you might roll to one side, however you want to come up. And then setting up with knees underneath your hips. Toes can be tucked or untucked behind you. And then hands outer shoulder width apart or wider. Give yourself lots of space. Right? And then let's work through cat and cow. Inhale, lift the tailbone, hollow through the lower back. Holla. Hollow. Wrap the shoulder blades toward each other. And then exhale, round through the spine. And then inhale slowly. Ripple. And exhale to round. So a few more of these on your own time, on your own breath. Moving however you need to move, right? Particularly if you've got tightnesses in different parts of the spine or the side body, you can draw these big barrel rolls through the chest. You can snake toward the floor. Oh, whatever you need to do. Last couple breaths here. And then slowly come back to center. Little draw of belly button to spine. And then you're going to start to walk your right hand in front of the left hand. Palms to the floor. Send the hips back a little bit. Just getting a little bit of length on the right side of the body. You might be up on fingertips. And then slowly come back to center. And then the left hand comes in front of the right. Hips go back a little bit. Now opening up the left side of the body. Again, maybe you're up on fingertips instead on that left hand. And then inhale, back to center, little wiggle, little shake, and then gently step to the top edge of your mat for a standing forward fold. Right, send the hips back so that you can really fold at the hip crease. You might clasp opposite elbows with hands. You might sway a little bit from side to side. My head is lifted just so I'm not muffling the mic, but you really want the head heavy and neck long. So you're looking between the legs instead of at the floor. And then if your arms are crossed, take the opposite crossing. And then gently release your hands with your fingertips to your shins or maybe the earth. Inhale, a little partway lift, belly button to spine. Exhale, let it all go. Couple more, just like that. And then bend your knees, tuck your chin in toward your chest, head heavy, arms heavy, slowly roll up to standing. One vertebra at a time, slow as you need to go, till eventually you come all the way up. Maybe a couple loops of the shoulders up, back and down, or a little wiggle or release wherever you need to go, and then shake it out a little bit. Awesome work. Feet hip width apart. Hug the legs toward each other slightly. Little draw of belly button to spine. Tailbone goes down to the earth without tucking under. Wrap your shoulder blades onto your back. On your inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Maybe follow with your gaze. And then exhale, melt into forward fold. Bend your knees. Fingertips to shins. Inhale, little partway lift. Exhale, let it go. Charge your legs. Inhale, sweep all the way up to the sky. Exhale, release hands to prayer. Same thing. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, melt to the earth. Inhale, little partway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands to prayer. One last time. And then exhale, release hands to prayer or by your side, eyes open or closed. Just pause and breathe. And then gently flick your eyelids open. Shake it out a little bit, a little noodle. And take your feet hip width apart or possibly even a little bit wider, but just not too wide. Draw belly bend to spine. On your inhale, sit the hips down and back. So into a chair pose. Tailbone down slightly, just so you feel your belly button engaged toward your spine, and then send the knees out. We have a tendency to not work here, right? Our bodies take the easiest path they can, and that's by not using those butt muscles. So send the knees out, and then you can start to feel them engage, and bring your arms to cactus. Okay, so this would cause a little bit more extension through the spine. That's okay. Inhale here. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone under, round through the spine. Give an imaginary friend a big bear hug. And then inhale, lift back up, and exhale round. Couple more of these. Staying in chair pose the whole time. And then on your next inhale, come all the way up to standing. Shake it out a little bit. Release. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Flip your palms skyward. Grab hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Inhale, lift taller. Exhale, over to the left. Send the hips to the right. Just a little bit of a side stretch here. A little bit more work now going into especially that right leg. And then bend your knees, tuck the tailbone under. Round through the spine. Pull over to the left a little bit more. And then inhale up to the sky. Shake out the arms, get your blood flow back to the hands. Sweep the arms overhead, flip the palms skyward, grab hold of the left wrist this time, lift tall. Exhale over to the right, hips to the left. So again, a little bit more strength going into that left leg. And then bend both knees, tuck the tailbone under, start to pull and round through the spine. Over to the right. And then inhale back up and release. Shake it out a little bit. Feet come back, hip width apart. On your inhale, chair pose again. Arms in cactus. So we did the forward and side, or forward and back. Let's go side to side. Inhale here. Exhale, hips to the right, reach to the left. Inhale back. And exhale, opposite side. And then let's start to bring all those movements together. So rounding through the spine, reaching up through extension, get lateral flexion and extension. Just moving however you need to here. And then inhale all the way up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, little wiggle. Little bounce. Fingertips to shins. Inhale, lift up partway. Exhale, let it all go. Inhale, sweep all the way up to the sky. Exhale, release. Hands through prayer or by your side. Shake it out a little bit. Okay, I promise no more chair pose. So we did eagle on our backs. We're going to do eagle arms again. Don't worry, we're not going to do eagle legs. This is a little bit more of a chill day today. So inhale your arms wide. As you exhale, sweep your right arm underneath the left. Again, you can grab the back of the shoulders. Maybe you bring the forearms to touch, or maybe you're able to sneak those right fingertips into the palm of the left hand. And I'm going to show you from the side because we tend to just kind of dump into the posture here. So squeeze the bum, belly button to spine, lift the elbows, and then draw the shoulder blades down the back. So even if you're just grabbing your shoulder, not just, but if you're here, you can still lift the elbows and draw the shoulder blades down. If you're in the full bind, think of pulling the hands away from your head this time, rather than resting them on the forehead. And this will get into the neck a little bit more. Some of you might choose to lift the heart up to the sky a little bit without dumping the neck back. That can be headache inducing. And then bend your knees, tuck the tailbone under, pull your elbows forward, rounding through the upper back. If you have tightness lower down, then maybe you round even further, getting into mid back or maybe even low back. Keep pulling the elbows down or forward, wherever you need to go. And then inhale, come all the way back up, unfurl your wings. Whew, shake it all out. Little counter stretch. Bring the palms to the low back with the top of the pelvis. Wrap the elbows toward each other. The shoulder blades lift through the heart. Some of you might stay here. Some of you might clasp your hands behind the back. Keep those elbows bent, pressing your thumb knuckles right into the base of the sacrum. And release. Shake it out a little bit. And then we'll go to the opposite side. Inhale, your arms wide. Exhale, sweep the left arm underneath the right. Again, you might grab the back of the arms. One side might be easier than the other to get into a bind. Right? Think of lifting the elbows, shoulder blades drop down to get as much length as we can through the neck muscles. Pull the hands away from your face, or maybe you're here. Little lift of belly button to spine, little gentle squeeze of the bum. Again, some of you might choose to take it into a mini back bend. Think of it starting at the base of the shoulder blades rather than in the low back. And then bend the knees, pull the elbows forward, round through the spine. And you might stay up a little bit higher, maybe round further forward. Knees bent though, right? Otherwise you can't get as much spinal flexion. Sounds weird, but it's true. And then inhale all the way back up, unfurl those wings. Shake it out a little bit. And then one, again, really gentle counter stretch. Palms of the hands come to the low back or sacrum. Wrap the elbows toward each other. This is a beautiful place to stay. Some of you maybe might press the hips forward a little bit. Maybe you interlace the hands behind you, opposite interlacing of the fingers. Wrap the elbows back, shoulder blades back. And then release. Shake it out a little bit. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. For 3 breaths, inhale, lift up partway. Exhale, let it all go. 2 more. Okay. Bend your knees. Come down first to hands and knees, and then shift to your hips. You could have just squat down all the way to the floor if you wanted to. Swing your legs forward. Shake them out a little bit. Take a little windshield wiper of the knees. Okay, so we've done this once before. If you did one of my more gentle classes, if you haven't, this is such a nice stretch for the back. So bend the left knee in. Doesn't really matter where it is, and then you bend the right knee. So this left shin is just sort of tucked out of the way, and then flex the ankle on the right side. Take your left hand, grab the outside of the right foot with the left hand. Okay, so I'm sitting up tall here, but now I want you to give me the worst posture you think you can. So puff up the ribs, puff the back or the spine back, and then you're really pulling along the length of that left arm and all the way down the back. This is really great if you have tension through the top of the back, the shoulder blade area. Right, so rhomboids, upper trapezius. If you have tension lower down, then you start to slide the right heel away from you a little bit. And then you can bring your right hands or fingertips to the floor, press them away from you to even get even more. So go as far down as you need to, making sure that it's not like a hamstring stretch. Right? You're really getting into the back line, latissimus dorsi, multifidus, QL even. And then slowly, gently back out of it. Shake out your arms, and then we'll switch sides. So tuck that right shin out of the way, bend the left knee, take your right hand to the outside edge of the left foot. Maybe left hand comes out right away, and then round through the spine, puff it back, tuck the chin under, right? Then you get even more length. Maybe you stay here for a few breaths, really getting into that upper back, right? This area. Maybe you have tightness lower down, so you start to slide away. Maybe you have tightness the whole length of the spine, in which case, just pause the video and take as long as you need on every side. Last few breaths here. And then slowly, gently unwind. Come back up, shake it out. Again, let's get a little counter stretch. We've done a lot of spinal flexion, a little bit of spinal extension. Bring your feet in front of you, knees bent, hands behind you, fingertips pointing back, and then wrap your shoulder blades toward each other. Think of lifting your heart. Most of you will need a little bit more than this, in which case, press into the hands and feet, shift the hips forward, and then sit back down. And then really lift the heart up to the sky. And you can always adjust it if you need more. Shift your hips further forward or walk your hands further back. Make sure that you're pressing into those index knuckle mounds to the pointer finger so that your hands are quite active here. You might feel this across the chest, across the shoulder joint, maybe even down towards the elbow along the biceps. Last couple breaths here. And gently bend your elbows. Shake out. Grab the backs of the thighs and then roll down to the floor. Hug your knees into your chest, little rock from side to side. And then shift your hips a little bit to the right. Right arm goes out to the side. As you exhale, lower the knees to the left. So we'll get a little bit of a passive twist here. A bit more release through the spine. I always like to end with a little bit of spinal rotation if we can, particularly in my longer classes. You might look along the right arm just to finish off the spiral in the neck. And inhale, slowly come back to center. And shift your hips to the left a little bit. Lower your knees to the right. Left arm goes out to the side. Maybe you look left. Not last couple breaths. Just settle here in this twist. You can be as gentle or as deep as you need it to be. And then inhale back to center. If there's anything else you feel like you need before your rest, maybe a happy baby or some sort of reset for the spine, you're welcome to go there. And start to think about where you would like to end for your day or for your rest. You could be flat on your back, legs bent or straight. You might rest on your side or in a seated meditation. And once you've found your pose of rest, for 3 breaths, inhale deeply through your nose. Exhale, sigh. And breath in. A couple more just like that. With each exhale, let your body melt a little bit deeper into the earth. Let go of any last muscle tension or gripping. Any last bit of breath control. And your thoughts may come and go. Acknowledge them without judgment, but let them go. And let them drift by you like leaves on the wind. Stay here longer if you can, 5, 10 minutes. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.